The BBC have said it should have pulled the live stream of Bob Vylan's performance during Glastonbury, which contained utterly unacceptable and anti-Semitic sentiments. Let's remind ourselves of what was said.
Free, free! Free, free! Alright, but have you heard this one, though? Death, death to the IDF! Death, death to the IDF! Death, death to the IDF! Death, death to the IDF!
So Ofcom are now looking into the incident, saying that the corporation clearly has questions to answer.
Let's get more with campaigns coordinator for the revolutionary communist, Fiona Lali. Fiona, thank you very much for joining us here on Britain's Newsroom. So Bob Vylan, obviously now being condemned by multiple members of Parliament, congressmen. There's, attempts in America to now have their visas revoked. They said there were anti-Semitic comments by and lots of anti-Semitism campaign groups. The irony of all of this is in 2020, Bob Vylan were supposedly giving racism the middle finger at concerts against racism. Do you think they are just purely shameless, looking to get 15 minutes of fame?
No, I think I'm really glad that this has happened because it's giving us an opportunity to expose the IDF and say, what is the IDF? The IDF is a monstrous imperialist army that has killed over 100,000 Palestinians on behalf of Israel, and it is committing barbaric acts every single day. And the way that the media has reported on this has been astounding, but it actually makes people feel sick because, there was horrific violence over the weekend, but it wasn't at Glastonbury. It was in Palestine. It was soldiers from the IDF consciously shooting Palestinians who are queuing up for aid. And they do that on purpose.
Okay, so
in
you
fact,
are
they are
aware.
instructed to do that.
So
they are instructed
Fiona,
to do
you
that.
are aware.
That's disgusting.
You are aware that Hamas have instructed the death of Palestinians who are assisting with the aid delivery. I mean, this is a fact. You are aware of that. So that's
not a fact.
No. I'm telling you a fact. Hamas are doing that, and they're killing their own people, and they're urging others to kill any Palestinians who are helping with the aid delivery.
No,
are you aware of that?
That's not true. And when the mainstream media and people like yourself say these things, everything you do acts as justification for the IDF and for Netanyahu. And so you're a bit like Keir Starmer, actually.
Can I take
Keir Starmer also does
I don't think the audience will agree with that. I mean, they know.
I thought you'd find that funny.
Can I just take a slightly nuanced approach?
What you do
Go ahead.
when you say these things is line up with the rest of Western imperialism, which is to say that Israel has the right to do what it is doing. Israel has the right to genocide the Palestinian people.
First of all, it's not been confirmed as a genocide. Even the International Court of Justice have not called it that. So you may see it that way. That is your choice. But secondly, I just noticed that you've not condemned Hamas, and you keep. Where was the condemnation for Hamas? Are you saying that what happened on October the 7th was not acceptable?
When you do this,
no, I'm asking
another people in the media do this. Again, it is to justify. Nothing justifies genocide against the Palestinian people. I'm here to tell you exactly what I think.
But could you just answer
I'm not going to stand here and condemn Hamas. I'm not going to do that.
So you're not going to
I'm going to stand here and condemn the IDF, the occupation, and the role of Western imperialism in that entire region.
Fiona, hang on 1 second, just 1 moment.
I am here to condemn Keir Starmer and David Lammy and the British government and British imperialism's role in this occupation and in this genocide.
You cannot sit there and seriously say you will not condemn Hamas, who have
I can
brought...
say whatever I like.
Well, you can, but I tell you what, the British public are watching you. The British public are watching you, and if you will not condemn terrorists, people who have caused absolute chaos upon the Palestinian people, the ones that started this conflict, can you see the disdain the British public, the people of Palestine, Jewish people will have for you?
I'm happy to condemn terrorists. Let's start with Keir Starmer. Let's start with David Lammy.
Let's start with the people that started this war.
And let's talk about the IDF. Let's talk about the IDF.
Who started the war on October the 7th?
I'll tell you, it began in 1948 with the forced expulsion of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians.
We can get into a historical discussion. It's not worthwhile.
You are so correct. In fact, the British were entirely involved in setting up the Zionist state. They were entirely involved in that. So British imperialism historically is responsible for those crimes, and today it is still responsible for those those crimes. And what makes you so angry, actually, is the fact that
angry.
more people support people like Bob Vylan, more people in Britain actually want to see an end to the occupation. They don't support Britain sending arms to Israel.
What people want, Fiona, is an end
that's
to
what enrages
war.
you.
And they don't support
if you
Bob
wanted
Vylan spouting out vile anti-Semitism. I don't want you to sit here and call the British public racist and anti-Semitic, because they do not support Bob. You just said the vast majority of people support what Bob Vylan said. You just said that. And they don't. They do not overwhelmingly.
I think you're upset about
yes, I'm upset that there's a man who's been given a platform to spout anti-Semitism.
But you're not upset about 100,000 Palestinians.
Who said that?
You're not upset about the fact that the IDF killed children.
I don't want children to die.
Fiona,
don't shout at me,
Fiona,
please. Yes.
Can you not condemn Hamas?
I've told you.
No, but I'm asking. It's a yes or no.
Okay.
So don't do.
I've actually already answered that question.
So
is there
a yes or no to that?
And the other reason why you guys act like this is because you want to intimidate people from speaking out about the Palestinian movement. You want to criminalise the entire Palestinian movement. In fact, today,
it's interesting.
Today there are activists on trial. The Filton 18, they're on trial, and the state is using counter-terrorism laws against them for the role that they have played to disrupt the Israeli war machine.
News, giving your opinion out on the airwaves.
And you're telling us what we think.
So
you don't know.
And you're
shouting
tell
us we're scared of
Fiona,
you.
don't
tell us you're scared. You know, this is the ridiculous thing, isn't it? Tell us we're scared. We have you on here to give your opinion to the British public. What I'm not going to sit here and do is agree with you just because you think I should.
No,
which is what all of you lot at Glastonbury
agree.
think we should all sit
We're
there
definitely
going,
not going
yes,
to agree.
I agree with your argument. I don't agree with your argument in the slightest.
We're definitely not going to agree. But what I'm pointing out is that I think the reason that you are so shocked by what I'm saying,
we're not
and a lot of the mainstream media over the weekend was so shocked that other people were chanting with Bob Vylan, is because you are so out of touch with the real mood in society, and the real mood in society is on the side of the Palestinians.
The problem we're having here,
and you've lost that whole debate, and I think that's
Fiona, the problem we're having here
again.
is you continuously tell us what we think, but you don't listen to what we're thinking. So if you would just listen a bit more,
the genocide of the Palestinians.
If you listen, let me finish. Let me finish. Sorry. If you listen to what people have to say, then perhaps instead of telling me what I think, you might listen to what I think. Okay. And that's, I think, this is a real problem with your argument. You don't listen. Okay. You don't listen to what people think. You have no idea.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fiona.
Fiona Lali, thank you very much.